I figured since I was going to do this anyway, I may as well just record it for you. But my very favorite, I'm so sad about it, my very favorite bronzer palette broke, and I have no idea how. I just opened it up to use it one day, and it was like shattered to pieces. And I do have another one that I like, but this one is my favorite. So since I was planning on fixing it anyway, I thought I would just record it and show you guys how I fix it. So let's get started. So I'm just going to lay a towel down first so nothing gets all over my carpet. But I'll show you guys my broken palette. This is my favorite bronzer and blush and highlighter palette. It's just Park Avenue, or the Park Ave Princess by Tarte. So I'll open it up and show you. See, it just shattered, and I don't know how, but it's okay because I can fix it. No worries there. Turn it sideways a little bit. So all you want to have for this is some rubbing alcohol and a bag. And just open the bag up. I'll use that in a minute. So I've done this before, and I think the easiest way that I have found to do it is make sure all the pieces are kind of crushed up anyway. So you can either do that now or after it's inside of a bag. I'll just put it in the bag for the purpose of not spreading any funky germs or anything. So I'll put it in the bag just like that, and then I'm going to take like the end of a Sharpie that I just found and just kind of crush up the pieces so they're all uniform, trying not to make a mess. Even though it's in a bag, I want to keep all the pieces together in one piece, or not in one piece, but inside the little tin. Okay. So that's all crushed up, all nice and even. Now I'm just going to take a little bit of this rubbing alcohol. I'm going to put a little bit in the cap. There's not really any measurement for it. I'm just looking for consistency. So I'm going to pour the rubbing alcohol into it, just a little bit at a time. Pour a little bit more. And the reason you have to use rubbing alcohol is because rubbing alcohol evaporates. And that's what you need for this, since it's not a powder bronzer. It's a baked bronzer, right? So you want that consistency back. And since it just broke, you have to kind of fix it. So pour the rubbing alcohol on there, and I'm going to put the bag back on. Kind of carefully. Obviously, if your palette's a little bigger, you can use a bigger bag. So then I'm just going to, once again, kind of work this all around, trying to keep it inside. I just want the rubbing alcohol to get in all the edges. And then with my finger, I'm just going to push all the pieces back, the little pieces that went on the side. Push those back in the middle, flatten that out. Lift it off. And it's going to be a mess inside. So I'm going to try to keep the bronzer that got on the bag. I'm going to try to keep it away from the palette. And then I'm just going to go ahead and use the side that's not wet on the inside and lay it back over and smooth it out. It doesn't matter if it's smoothed out, it'll still work. I'm going to slide it off, clean up the edge a little bit. And then I'm just going to let it dry until probably until tonight. It shouldn't take that long, but I'm going to let it dry for a while, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like when it's all done. Alright, so it's all dried. It's actually the next day because it was raining all yesterday and it was super humid and I wasn't sure if this actually dried. So I waited until today to finish filming it just to make sure that it was completely dry. So here is the finished bronzer. It's not going to be as pretty as when you first buy it, but it is totally solid and back to normal. Let me see if I can show you. So it's totally, oh, you can't even really see that. But it's totally back to normal. I'm just going to go ahead and clean up the edges a little bit because it is still kind of messy. So I'm just going to take a little bit of tissue and just kind of clean up the edges. And then it'll be back to normal. Give the mirror a good clean. So yeah. So there you go. Now you know how to fix a broken palette.